Welcome to Tansson TV Plus. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Mom.
Thank you so much for joining us and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, happy Thanksgiving to everyone also.
Yes, and Mom, I hope that you are enjoying this time. And what show are we speaking about here today?
We're going to talk about a classic today, Brandon. We're going to talk about Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving.
Yes, and I should say the special, since this was the special that aired on CBS in 1973.
Yes, it is.
But yes, we're very excited to speak about this, like you mentioned in your introduction. This is truly a classic. And Mom, you can go ahead and get us started. This is from November 20th of 73.
All right, Brandon. I am actually not even going to give a synopsis this time. I am hoping that everyone who is watching this has actually seen Charlie Brown's Thanksgiving. It is so iconic. It comes on, well, it used to come on every year. Now you have to catch it on Apple. However, I know there are a load of versions out there. So let's just get ready and just talk about the show, Brandon.
Yes, I'm very excited to speak about Charlie Brown Thanksgiving.
So am I. All right, Brandon, what did you think? Okay, we have two different perspectives here. I grew up watching a Brown's Thanksgiving every year. You, on the other hand, probably did not. I know you've seen it, but every year it would come on for me. And so, what were your thoughts before we watched it? What did you remember about the special itself?
Yeah, so for some context, I mean, I definitely tried to see it every year when it came out, at least for these past several years, up until the time it stopped airing, I believe in 2020. But nevertheless, I remember the gist of it. I remember the general flow of how it goes. I may not have remembered it in its full entirety per se, but I remember, for the most part, how it flows. Although I will say that I don't remember all of the musical sequences that occurred throughout the special.
All right. And Brandon, for me, yes, flow, I remember. However, what kind of stood out to me was, of course, Snoopy cooking the food. And then what also stood out for me was the feast itself, or the kids as they gathered around in order to eat the food. And I do remember that Peppermint Patty was not happy with the food that was presented to her because it was not traditional Thanksgiving food like she was hoping for. And so that I do remember. Even though I watched it each year, it was not one that I had memorized or anything like that. It was just something that came on. So it was a lot of background. I will say that when I first kind of discovered Charlie Brown as being a young person, that I was not necessarily a big fan of, and I don't mean by Charlie Brown in general, just I was not a Snoopy fan. Let's put it that way. And so I have no reason for it. I just wasn't a Snoopy fan. But I would watch, each of the episodes as they would air. The iconic episodes that would air each year. So for me, it was more about bits and pieces that I remember, and I do remember the musical interludes that you're referring to that you don't quite remember. Those I do remember.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, I for the most part have tried my best, like I said, to catch all the different Peanut specials as they came on. Of course, because of course we have the ones leading up to Halloween. We have the Thanksgiving, Christmas. I mean, they are all classics in their own right. But the Thanksgiving one, I kind of like because it feels just a little bit different.
Mhm. It does. And let's talk about now. We've talked about how it's kind of iconic. What to you makes this iconic?
I think what's sort of iconic is Peppermint Patty inviting herself and friends over to Charlie Brown's house to have this Thanksgiving, and just in traditional Charlie Brown fashion. This is not the way he anticipated. He never invited these people. He wasn't going to be home even, for all these people, but he had to figure it out, and he may have been a little disappointed, but things just sort of work out.
Yeah, and I guess for me it's kind of iconic because it has a little bit of everything in it. We have the gathering of friends. We do have the some of the meaning of Thanksgiving that kind of comes out with it. We've got, the traditional food. We have the differences in food in regards to, we've got what probably the kids would eat. And then, of course, what a family traditionally eats for Thanksgiving. We've got young people here. We talk about going to a grandmother's house. And so there are just so many things that just kind of stand out, I think, that stands out in general when you think about Thanksgiving.
Or should we say grandmother's condominium?
Yes, grandmother's, and that was a surprise for me. And so, in talking about some of the things that I was not expecting, or things that I just forgotten, from watching, was at the end. The question is, they sing over the river and through the woods, to grandmother's house they go. And then the last thing that Charlie Brown says is, well, my grandmother lives in a condominium. And so that was something that I don't know if I just forgot. But I was so surprised to hear that. And of course, we had to look up and say, okay, how long have condominiums been out? And this version, of course, is 1973. So, I think you looked it up for us. But, and so that was one of the things that kind of surprised me that I was not thinking about. There was also, even though I remember all the songs, there was this scene with all these chairs at the beginning, well, midway through, in regards to Snoopy taking out the chairs. And that was something that I don't remember the whole sequence. I remember him having some issues with chairs. I just didn't know how long it took for this chair sequence, and maybe I just blocked it out. I don't know. But that was one of the things that stood out as something I didn't remember when I watched this again. Bran, were there any other things for you that you just didn't remember?
I would say for me, I guess I didn't fully understand. I mean, realize the extent of Peppermint Patty introducing her friends to Charlie Brown, because I had, always figured that they had all known each other, and I know that they've all been specials together before. But it was interesting seeing them all introduce, like Peppermint Patty, and say, "Oh, by the way, my friend Marcy's coming over. Franklin's coming over." It's like, well, don't they know who each other are?
And that is true. And that was something that I picked up also. And then something else I thought was odd is that Lucy, I believe it's Lucy, Lucy was not at at least in the Carter Go to Grandmother's house, she was not there. And Lucy was at the beginning of the episode. So I'm not quite sure why she wasn't included with the rest of the group.
Yeah, especially considering her brother Linus was there.
Yeah, yeah, that's very true too. So that was just something that stood out when I was watching the fact that, because I kept counting like someone's missing, and it's like, well, Lucy's not there.
But yeah, but even though Lucy was not there for a majority of the special, we at least got the song Linus and Lucy, at least a portion of it.
Yeah, we did, we did. We did, and then they also had some with this special. I will say they did include a couple things that are come almost in all of Charlie Brown's specials that kind of go on. With Lucy playing football with them, and just seeing him go, and Peppermint Cat Patty calling Charlie Brown Chuck all the time. So I mean, there are some things on there that are just kind of, you see in every episode, and it was kind of nice to see that.
Yeah, and I did a little bit of research, on the special.
You did. What did you find out?
So apparently, minus the very beginning, of course, with Charlie Brown and Lucy with the football. This is the first Peanut special to have an actual original script that is not reliant on the comic book, the comics.
Oh, that is really interesting to know. It is. It is. Did you discover anything else?
I mean, there were a lot of course, interesting tidbits, and there have been over 50 different Peanut specials over the years, and I'm not sure if that's even a full inclusive list. But it's I think it really says something. I've done some brief research on the Peanuts franchise about 2 years ago on Charles Schultz's 100th birthday, but it was so interesting to sort of realize how how this isn't just for comic history,
Hmm.
how significant Peanuts is, but also for television.
Yeah. And just so the audience know, although I said I didn't like Snoopy, I do like Charlie Brown. So I did watch as a young person. I did watch the Charlie Brown specials. Didn't necessarily watch a lot of the Snoopy specials, but I did watch the ones where everyone was kind of there.
What's a little bit special about this is that, of course, this is a Thanksgiving special from 1973, so it's been around for 51 years. The special, uh, but also that as of recording, this is the 102nd birthday of the creator of Peanuts.
I know that's incredible. It's so hard to believe that he'd be 102.
But yeah, and so question I had for you, Mom, is so when you think about Charlie Brown and the rest of the Peanuts gang, do you think about the comic or do you think about the TV specials?
Actually, I think about the TV specials because, like I said, I just remember each year the iconic ones that we would see every holiday. It seems like there was a Charlie Brown special, and so when the other cartoons came on for that time period, I just sat and watched it.
But yeah, I mean, I also really identify Charlie Brown, in the Peanuts gang with the TV specials and just how iconic it is and how the franchise is still going, even though the comic strip has been ended now for about 24 years.
Yeah. Oh gosh, Brandon. I remember when when the comic strip ended. So yeah, I remember when it ended.
But yeah, but Mom, is there anything else that you want to mention for this?
No, I think we kind of covered it. I mean, I did like, I enjoyed watching it again. It did not seem like a long 24 minutes, 25 minutes that it was. We have in store, we'll be watching a couple more. But yeah, so I was happy to watch this and I look forward to exploring new things.
Absolutely, and and we always have the question of would you watch again? In which case, next Thanksgiving, would you go into Apple TV Plus and watch this again?
I sure will.
Yeah, I definitely will as well. We haven't seen it at least since minimum 2021, the last time it aired on TV on PBS. But yeah, I definitely look forward to watching it again next year.
Yep, same here, Brandon. And we thank all of you guys for watching again for us today. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving.
You as well. Enjoy the big day, and we'll see you next time.
All right, bye, everybody.